All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about a really fundamental shift in how angel investors can work with startups. We're going to explore moving from just being a passive funder to becoming an active partner. It's a completely new way to look at early-stage investing.
So let me ask you a question, and I'll be blunt. For all the angel investors listening, are you just an ATM? I mean, do founders see you as a source of cash, and that's about it? It's a tough question, for sure, but it gets right to the heart of what we're digging into today.
And that really leads to the core idea here. The point is, your money is just the ticket to get in the door. The real game-changing value you bring to the table, well, that's something else entirely. Capital is only the beginning.
Which brings us right here, going beyond just money. So let's actually unpack that. What does it really mean? What are you, as an angel, bringing to the table that's maybe even more valuable than a check?
See, this totally reframes an angel's most valuable assets. We're not talking about your bank account anymore. We're talking about your brain, your reputation, and your contacts. Your years of industry experience, that can help a startup sidestep disastrous mistakes. Your credibility, that gives them instant legitimacy. And your network, well, your network can open doors that money could never buy. Okay, so if that's the dream, why isn't it the reality for most investors? To get that, we have to look at the old way of doing things. The traditional investing model and all the frustrations that come with it.
The source material uses this metaphor of a black box, and it's just perfect, isn't it? You put your money in, and then you wait. You have almost no visibility, very little control. You're basically just a passenger on a long trip, hoping the driver knows where they're going and that you get to a big exit eventually.
And this slide just lays it all out. The traditional model, you're hands-off, your money's in that black box, and you're looking at a super uncertain 10-plus year wait for any kind of return. So what's the alternative? What's supposed to fill in those question marks on the right? Well, the answer we're exploring today is a new kind of company, a new category, really. They're called freedom startups, and they're designed from day one to solve the very problems we just talked about.
Now, the definition here is really, really specific, and that's the key. We're not talking about chasing some social media unicorn. No. A freedom startup is lean. It's focused on a very specific B2B industry, a vertical, it uses AI, and here's the most important part. It is built from the ground up with a clear, strategic plan to exit.
In this new kind of company, it creates the biggest shift of all. It completely transforms the angel's role. You stop being a passive funder and you become an active co-building.
And listen, we are not talking about just giving some advice at a quarterly board meeting. Not at all. This is about rolling up your sleeves. Angels actually partner with venture studios. These are teams that specialize in building companies from scratch, and they get involved in the nitty-gritty of designing and building the company.
So what does co-building actually look like in practice? Well, it's pretty concrete. You use your deep industry knowledge to help shape the product so it solves a real problem you know people have. You use your insider smarts to guide their market strategy, and you actively take part in a structured process that's designed to speed up the path to an exit, not drag it out.
And here it is. Remember this slide? Let's fill in those blanks. Instead of a hands-off role, you are a co-builder. Instead of that opaque black box, you get full transparency. And instead of waiting a decade or more for maybe an exit, you have a clear path to one in just 3 to 5 years. It's a completely different game.
So, what's the bottom line here? What does all this actually mean for you, the investor? Let's talk about the payoff, because this isn't just about feeling more involved. It's actually a smarter way to put your money to work.
The benefits are just so clear. You get total transparency. You know exactly what's happening. You get a real measure of control, so you can actually influence the outcome. And maybe the biggest one of all, you gain confidence, because you're investing in industries you already know inside and out. You're playing on your home turf.
And if you're a visual person, this timeline says everything. The old way, the traditional VC model, asks you to lock up your capital and wait 10, maybe 15 years for a high-risk moonshot. The freedom startup model, it's built for a profitable exit in a much, much shorter and more predictable time frame.
So as we start to wrap this up, it's pretty clear this is about way more than just a different financial strategy. It's really a philosophical shift in the whole relationship between an investor and a startup. This final quote from the source material just nails it. This model isn't just another asset class to add to your portfolio, it's a chance to stop being just a name on a spreadsheet and to start being a true partner in building something great. It's about investing your wisdom, not just your wallet. Which really leaves us with one last thing to think about. For your next investment, what role do you actually want to play? Are you there to just write a check and provide the fuel? Or are you ready to help grab the wheel and co-pilot the journey? That choice is yours.